to know how many chrono crystals you guys have saved. I really want to know, because this is some premium bait right here. Legends Revival, Superheroes of Justice, The Return of the Gammas. This is actually kind of scummy. Every time they do this crap, it's super duper scummy. And why do they do this? It's so they can say, hey, guess what, guys? A new character. We know that new characters are coming out, right? So why don't you just do us both a favor and summon for this older character that you may or may not have been looking forward to? So anyway, I can't really see the. Oh, this is the active page. Okay, so like, they do this from time to time where they bring back these banners. Like, this one came back not that long ago, and this guy was a character people were anticipating big time, and they bring him back in that time period, which I don't think was a particularly great time period, but either way, they brought him back right there on some side banner, basically just the return of his own banner, as opposed to being on a actual banner with a new character, something like that, you know, where they could easily make him a lot more accessible, right? They obviously chose to put him on his own side banner, and I'll never, ever, ever forget this crap. This crap right here was the biggest kick in the nuts pre-anniversary. Now, on one hand, it was the final confirmation we needed. We knew what the anniversary was going to be, because we always know. We always know everything. We always know everything. Anyway, but this was the final, like, this was such a huge kick in the region there, because it was like people were waiting for this guy. And they literally went out of their way to put him on a separate banner so he comes back just before the banner you would like for him to be on, because these are characters you want to use him alongside, right? So when we come back to present times, I'm not really mad at the Gammas. I think they're phenomenal. In fact, I really want to know how many of you guys are going to overlook whatever is coming for Anniversary or Legends Festival in favor of summoning for the Gammas. I don't think anyone should be able to fault you. Honestly, I don't think anybody should fault you. This character is amazing. By the way, I don't think anybody should fault you if you just summon for what you want on your own game anyway. That's just a side thing. Don't let other people dictate what you play for. Anyway, moving on. I'm like super duper staunch about that. Like, I don't like when people try to tell you what you should be doing in your game, unless it's a helpful tip, right? That's fine. Anyway, so the Gammas, yeah, they're phenomenal. I think like top 5 at worst, right? And their stock has risen tremendously since the anniversary, with the amount of blue characters in the meta keeping Vegito Blue at bay, most notably obviously Janemba. So like, they're very valuable. It just doesn't feel good, because what this means is that they're here now, so they're not going to be back on those other banners. And by the way, looping it back to the upcoming banners for Legends Festival, what you need to know is characters release on these banners, and then about 3 to 4 months later, they'll start slowly trickling them into other banners. Lately, they've been just kind of rerunning some of their banners, by the way, instead of putting them on banners where they should be putting them. But anyway, Goku and Frieza are on the docket for returning soon. The characters that released in that time period are going to be returning soon. I don't know what the plan is with Vegito Blue. Maybe he'll return around the latter portion of Legends Festival, but all these characters should be coming back soon. Basically, the time period is 3 to 6 months. So all these characters, they released in May, so like they're close, right? The reason why that happens is because these characters, the people that, as you can imagine, the people that summon for these characters are supposed to have a overpowering feel to PvP. The idea is they have you take these characters into PvP and run over everybody else that doesn't have them, and that has a trickle-down effect. For one, you make other people summon for this character. In this case, it would be Goku and Frieza because they're on the page. You make other people say, okay, let me get that character because they're so broken, right? And you're showing them firsthand how broken it is. And then 2, if they don't get the character, they'll also feel incentive and pressure to summon for the next character that's supposed to counter this character or be on this character's level / tier. It's a multifaceted marketing strategy, which is, it's not anything this game exclusively does. That's a very common thing. But that's also why they don't bring them back instantly. That's also why they wait a number of months. That has 2 factors. First factor is FOMO. You, as the player that didn't get this character, you are going to try to get the character initially so you don't have the fear of missing out on the character for X number of months and waiting for them to return. Now, the problem is when you wait for a character to return, they're off the boost system, so they're not as impressive as they were on release. And they're also in a position where they're probably been power crept. They're bringing them back because they're using them as bait, and this is happening with the Gammas here. The Gammas have not been power crept. They actually got better. Like I said, they got better as the climate cleared up for them and their support around them got better. But they bring them back because they're no longer an issue, or they're going to get power crept like immediately thereafter. That's why they unleash the reins, right? So I could go on the philosophy with that type of stuff for a long time, with the thought process. But all in all, I do think that anytime they do that, it's garbage, it's scummy, because the Gammas could have easily been on whatever banner they're popping up. I don't even care if the banner's like not movie themed. Obviously, that does not matter. They could have put them on there if they wanted to do that. So them being here, just like 17 pre-anniversary, means that they're not going to be on the banner. Here's to hoping that maybe Goku and Frieza are on a banner. Maybe they are. Maybe they will be. Who knows? In fact, I'd have to go back and look back at when UI Goku returned last year, and that would be a good indicator. So let's take a look at some more of the stuff that recently popped up. Festival countdown, some little banners here. Shout out to Hydros at Hydros Plays over on Twitter/X. Follow my guy for the data mines here. Also, I want to know what you guys think about the things I was just saying. Do you think it's scummy or scammy? Like I said, I don't blame anyone for pulling for them. That's the whole reason they're here. The whole reason they're here, and the reason I opened the video asking about your chrono crystals, is because the Legends team, they know how many chrono crystals you guys got, and they're like, okay, this is a character people are waiting for. That's really good. That's being used by a lot of top players. Let's bring them back. And also, those top players that didn't finish their stars will go back in. So festival countdown PvP. I mean, I don't really know particularly why they try to give all these old characters. The Legends Limited Z Power like doesn't even have to be for a character that came out this year. At least make it 2022 characters. I mean, my goodness. They got 3-year Gogeta show in there. Maybe they are some in there, but just the image is like, yeah. All right, we have the countdown image here. Go on. Oh, that art is so freaking good, boys. Oh, that art is so good. Oh, I don't really do a lot of early showcases. If you wonder why, it's because, to be completely blunt, it wasn't really worth my time staying up at midnight because my videos were doing basically the same viewership. So that's part of the reason why. I may consider doing that for Gohan. And part of the reason why it wasn't really worth it is because I have to get up early, take my kids to school. You know, you've heard the whole spiel. Anyway, so that banner's coming back, and we also have the festival starting, or the anniversary for the festival starting, and also Gohan is here on co-op. I hate when they do that. Comment here, please don't tell me they're hinting at BoJack Saga for the festival. Nah, I wouldn't really say. I mean, I don't really think that anything happening here has anything to do with festival. It's just the remnants of the movie campaign, in my opinion. But hey, I would not be opposed to getting like BoJack movie and a new Gohan again. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Speaking of which, here's an equip. I don't think this has anything to do with the LF, but could you imagine how we would be cooking if this was an equip for the new LF, dude? I don't think it is, but actually let me just confirm it's not been pushed yet, because the game does 2 data mines or 2 data pushes where they do the stuff where you can see the image and then the full data pushes through. It does not appear to have pushed through yet. I really hope I'm not looking at it like blatantly and I just don't see it. I don't believe so, because I think it would be like right here. Anyway, moving on. Could you imagine? Let's go back over there. We also have a PyCon equip. I do think one of these is going to be a platinum equip, and this PyCon one is probably just PvP equip. Did the PvP season end today? I really hope it didn't, because I didn't get my 200 today. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about some of the things I was saying about the Gammas. Like I said, I don't think the Gammas themselves are a scam. I don't really particularly think their banner is bad either. In fact, I want to see really quick before we go what their banner even really looked like, and I need to confirm that they bring back the banner in the same format too. That's another thing I need to confirm. Also, shout out to Orange Piccolo not returning. That definitely doesn't have an ulterior motive. He may return next week or something, but like if he doesn't return, that actually could be good, like I said, because he could wind up on the banner. But that also could be because, like I said, you know, he's strong, Janemba's running, and they probably just don't want another green out there. So there's that. Let's see what happened with this banner. The rate was 0.5, 1% there. It looks like this is probably the same banner overall. And they even bring back the coins and everything. I didn't bother even like touching this, so I didn't look at it too deep. Yeah, it looks like it's the same format and everything. So that's actually really good. Really good. Okay, yeah. So it comes back as it was, basically, and it even has a 2x Z power variant, so it's not bad at all. Like, I really wouldn't, oh, well, actually, it comes back without the 20% overall rate, though, huh? Now, the 20% rate overall, in and of itself, is kind of a scam, because, you know, your chance of pulling the new character is still 0.5, or 1% in this case with Magenta. but you just have more of an opportunity to get more fluff, I guess, and more of those other characters, which isn't bad. It's not bad at all. But that was like my big gripe with like the 3 times. It's like 30% or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's cool and all, but if I don't need bulk shards, it doesn't really matter for me. Anyway, let's go ahead and conclude. I hope you guys enjoyed, and check out this video on the screen now.